Hey everybody. So today I wanted to come to you to give you 5 tips that you can use to keep your hair feeling moisturized and healthy all year long, but especially during this winter season. So, when you have kinky, coily, curly, or even just really thick wavy hair, it is really difficult to keep your hair feeling moisturized. And what happens is over time when your hair becomes really dry, it can break and become brittle, and then you won't reach your healthy hair goals. So I want to give you a couple of things that you can do starting now to make sure that that doesn't happen to you. So the first thing that you can do is you want to moisturize your hair like crazy. And what I mean by that is, when I say moisturize, sometimes people get confused and they think, oh, I can just keep like adding a lot of oil to my hair. It's really dry. But that's actually not the purpose of oil. Oil helps to seal in moisture, but it alone does not moisturize your hair. So if your hair is feeling dry, you need a water-based product or water, and you need to apply that to your hair. And so one way is if you wear your hair naturally curly or like in curly natural styles, then you can, use a product like a daily leave-in or a moisturizing leave-in spray or even water, and then seal that in with a little bit of a cream or a little oil, maybe just to keep that moisture in throughout the day. But you want to make sure that you're paying close attention, especially when it gets really, really cold, because all the environment is doing is going to suck that moisture from your hair. So, what I recommend is really my second tip, which is to use the LCO method, which is leave-in or liquid, then a cream, and then an oil. So the lock method is some that you may or may not have heard of. It's like people used to use a leave-in, an oil, and then a cream, but I actually find that for high porosity hair or for very dry, kinky, coily hair, that using a leave-in or liquid followed by a cream and then an oil is the best way to keep your hair feeling soft and moisturized. And the reason why is when you have kinky, coily, curly hair like this, or in any sort of texture, we have natural oils on our scalp, but those natural oils cannot get to the ends of our hair. So as a result, the natural oils in our scalp, it could maybe like stop right here and it never gets all the way down the hair shaft. So then our hair becomes dry, especially at the ends. And that's why some of us have a hard time retaining length. So when you use the liquid, cream, and oil method that I'm recommending, what you want to do is you first apply like a liquid. Sometimes I use just water. This is when I'm doing like a natural style. So like, let's say tonight I decide that I want to, this is an old Bantu night out, but let's say I decide I'm going to do like a twist out. Well, I'm going to first, section my hair. I'm going to spray water all over it. Then I follow it up with like a cream. This is one of the creams that I'm working on launching to go along with our hair elixir. So it's a water-based product. It leaves your hair feeling super soft and moisturized. It's actually what I use to set my Bantu knot. This is like 4 days old, but this is what I used. And then you want to follow it up with an oil. So you'll do liquid or water, your leave-in or water, a cream, and then you want to follow it up with an oil. And what that is you're sort of like layering, you're making sure that you're sealing in that oil or the cream with the oil and getting that moisture in. Now you would maybe have to repeat this after 5 days or 3 days. It depends on your hair. For me, I pretty much will do this process like every 5 days, and my hair remains feeling soft. And then when I feel like it's getting crunchy or super dry, then I just go back through. The other thing is, though, the most important way to maintain moisture in your hair is you want to make sure that you start with an excellent shampoo and conditioner, and one that is moisturizing and hydrating for your hair. So, people say it all the time. A lot of stylists will say moisturization starts at the shampoo bowl, and it's very true. If you are relaxed or you wear your hair straight, like when I'm wearing a silk press, you have to make sure that you're using very hydrating products at the shampoo bowl. But then when you come out, your hair should feel and should be well moisturized without you having to add a ton of product. But if you are wearing your hair straight and you still want to use the lock method, what I typically do, like if I'm doing my own hair, I will wash, condition, and then I will use a leave-in, or if it's water, that's what it is. And then I'll put a little bit of cream on it. Then I will add some oil, and then I will blow my hair out, and then I'll press it, or whatever, I'll do whatever the straight style that I'm trying to achieve. So that way I don't have to worry about my hair feeling weighed down, because I added just a little bit of product before I straightened it and at the blowout phase, and it still left my hair with a lot of body. So that is the second thing that you can do, is use the LCO method. The third thing that's extremely important is to deep condition your hair regularly. So a deep conditioner is different from a regular conditioner, because in order for it to work properly, it does have to remain in your hair for usually 10 to 15 minutes, and it usually needs to be applied with heat. And that's because a deep conditioner is going to penetrate your hair follicles differently from like an instant conditioner. An instant conditioner is really good if your hair is already in great shape. An instant conditioner, you can put it on, you can rinse it off, but it's not going to get in and repair those hair follicles the way a deep conditioner will. However, there are some conditioners that you can use as a deep conditioner, but you do have to leave it on for an extended period of time, and you'll want to sit under a heating cap, or if you're old school, you might want to use one of these grocery bags. After you've applied your deep conditioner, put this on, put a heating cap on, or you might want to keep it on for an extended period of time so that your hair, it can get warm, because it's that heat that's going to really help the product penetrate your hair. And then, you want to rinse it out and you can style as normal. But deep conditioners are extremely important also, because they help make your other products work better. So your styling products. So if you find like, if you are a wash and go type person, I'm not, but if you are and you find like, hey, I just cannot get my curls to pop, I cannot get any definition with my hair, well, you might really be in need of a deep conditioner. They usually do have protein in it, and maybe your hair is just lacking. And so usually you'll find after adding a deep conditioner to your regimen, you're going to have better elasticity with your curls, or with your hair in general. Even if you don't wear your hair curly, it's going to have that snapback. It's going to feel softer. And like I said, all the products will work better because they'll be able to get into your hair instead of just sitting on top of your hair. So the fourth tip that I have for you is to cleanse your hair regularly. I know back in the day and growing up, I think, I have always been told like, oh, dirty hair grows better. But the reality is you need your hair, and your scalp needs to be clean for your hair to grow. So, some people like to do the co-washing. I personally do not recommend co-washing, because you are literally just building up product on top of product. And over time, that can also dry your hair out, and you'll find that your products are not working as well as they once did. It's because your hair is dirty and it needs to be cleaned. So cleaning your hair regularly and removing buildup on a regular basis is very important to a healthy hair regimen, and especially to maintaining moisture. Now, of course you want to make sure you're using a great shampoo and conditioner that is hydrating, and it's going to add a lot of that moisture back. A lot of conditioners and shampoos do already have oils in them, so you don't have to overdo it with the amount of oil that you use, but you do want to keep your hair clean. And then the fifth tip that I have for you is increase your water intake. So, I know that that's difficult for some of us, for me especially, because like when I'm traveling, I do not want to have to use public restrooms all the time. But the reality is when you are thirsty, the way I'm feeling right now, when you are thirsty, your body is already saying, hey, I'm dehydrated. And so you need that hydration in your body, and you need to keep it in regularly, because when you're dehydrated, your body holds on to whatever water it has. And guess what happens when it's holding on to that water? it's starving your scalp of water. And that's why some people have extremely dry scalp. You'll find that they'll find their hair is just shedding and not healthy. And it's a lot of it has to do with the water intake. So, you know, water, our body is made up primarily of water. And so, you know, if you are not getting enough water, and I'm not talking about soda with, you know, and saying soda or juice, like, no, you just need straight up H2O. And that is also going to be a big part of clearing your skin, but also making sure that your hair is healthy and your scalp is healthy. So again, those 5 tips that I recommend to have healthy, moisturized hair this winter and all year long is moisturize like crazy. Take notice of your hair. You might have to moisturize in the morning and at night, just depending on the temperature and the environment you live in. Number 2, you want to use the LCO method. That's liquid or leave-in, a cream, liquid, a cream, and then an oil to help seal that moisture in, especially if you have kinky, coily, curly hair. And if you want to wear your hair straight with the LCO method, you can just do it before you straighten it, before the blow dry. It works just as well. Number 3, deep condition your hair like regularly, as much as you can. And that means maybe putting on a deep conditioning cap, or you can use a regular cap. This is just what I've got here at home. Putting a cap on, sitting under the dryer. If you have a hooded dryer, cool. If not, a heating cap. And if not, they actually have little caps that you can put on top of those bags, and it generates heat and keeps your hair in helps that deep conditioning process. It's really important. The 4th thing that you want to do is keep your hair clean, cleanse it regularly. Try to avoid the co-washing, and instead deep condition and use good hydrating shampoos and conditioners for your hair. And then the 5th tip that I have is increase your water intake. Do not let your body get dehydrated. If you are feeling thirsty, it's because you're dehydrated. And remember, that's affecting your hair growth, as well as how healthy your scalp feels. So use those tips this summer or this winter, and hopefully that will help you maintain your healthy hair journey.